A year ago, I tried to learn the piano the traditional way, through sheet music. I just couldn't get my head around it, and honestly, that struggle is the whole reason this channel exists. So today, I want to give you a completely honest review of Tomplay, an app I've actually used for a year, what it does brilliantly, and why I personally moved away from it. So quickly, what is Tomplay? It's an interactive sheet music app. You get a huge library of songs, real backing tracks to play along with, and the sheet music scrolls in sync as you play. You can slow down the tempo, loop tricky sections, and there's a cursor that follows along with the music in real time. It's available on phone, tablet, and as a browser or desktop app on PC. With a bigger screen, this genuinely helps when it comes to reading sheet music more clearly. You can also print the PDF sheet music if you prefer to have a physical copy. Quick disclosure, I am an affiliate for Tomplay and I'll drop my link below, but I want this to be a genuinely honest take, not just a sales pitch. Let's start with what Tomplay does really well. The song library is massive pop, classical, film scores, you name it, with levels covering everyone from absolute beginners right through to advanced players. And unlike apps like Simply Piano, which I also tried for about 6 months, Tomplay gives you full pieces rather than short, simplified snippets. So you're actually learning the complete song, not just a stripped down version of it. It's also not limited to piano. Tomplay covers a whole range of instruments, including guitar and drums. So if you play multiple instruments, you can generally cover all of them in one app. Backing tracks are professionally recorded, so playing along actually feels like performing with a full band or orchestra, not just a metronome click. On a lot of PCs, you can also choose exactly which track you want to play it with. So left hand, right hand vocals, full band. So this can isolate whatever part you're working on. One feature I really love, you can click on any note on the sheet music and it will show you exactly where to play it on the piano. That's brilliant if you're still connecting the dots between notation and the keyboard. The practice tools are generally useful too. You can slow down any piece without changing the pitch, loop a specific section you're struggling with, and gradually build speed. So if you are already reading sheet music, you feel motivated to learn, this is one of the best tools out there for practicing real repertoire. There's also a full chord library, which includes inversions, genuinely handy if you want to understand the theory behind what you're playing rather than just following the notes on screen. Here's the honest part. So, even with all these tools, I never really felt comfortable reading sheet music. So, lines, spaces, key signatures, my brain just didn't really process it fast enough to keep up while I was playing. It wasn't Tom Play's fault. The app is excellent at what it does. It just highlighted that sheet music as a learning method wasn't the correct method for me personally. Occasionally on the browser version, the audio can go slightly out of sync with the sheet music. It is an easy fix. You can sort it in the settings or just switch over to the desktop app or the app on the phone, which I find runs much smoother overall. Genuinely, this is minor stuff and it didn't take away from my experience from using it. That's actually what led me to Synthesia and follow note tutorials. Instead of reading notation, you watch the notes fall onto the keyboard in time with the music. For my brain, that visual direct mapping just made everything click. And it's not the first time I've learned an instrument this way. I've played guitar for 25 years and I learned through tablature rather than standard notation. Different methods, same result. You end up playing the music. Exactly why I make tutorials. So for anyone who's felt the same way I did, this is a very, very effective and interesting method. If you want to properly learn to read sheet music, or you already can, Tomplane is probably the best app out there for you. I'd recommend it without any hesitation. But if sheet music feels like a wall, like it did for me, following note tutorials might be the easier way. Neither is better. They're just different paths to the same goal, playing the music that you love. If you do want to give Tomplay a try, using my link below gets you a 14-day free trial instead of the standard trial, plus 30% off the annual plan. So that's quite a solid saving. And if you're more like me and want that fallen notes approach, check out my Patreon. MIDI files, sheet music, MP3 and full tutorials, and you get a 7-day free trial. I'll put the link in the description below for all these things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.